Hey, what's up, J-Bru? Good evening to you. Thanks for sending me some feedback, Larry style with the track changes, as you call it. Um, so I read through your comps answer and here are my thoughts. Um, so if you turn to, on the first page and like in the middle, you have a sentence saying to distinguish applied communication scholarship as a relevant way to spend resources and to bolster it as a unique area of communication in general, we must first agree upon a definition. So I got call attention to the term used, resources. So a relevant way to spend resources. So you're probably going to want to define what you mean by resources because, as you know, Larry defines communication resources as skills and knowledge, right? But it's like, but having the term spend before resources, are you referring to resources in a different way? So um, I'll kind of keep that in mind about the term resources. Also, um, let's see. You spent a good portion of your answer talking about the distinction between applied research and basic scholarship, basic research, and well, I guess it's merely a curiosity as to how does your discussion on basic research help fuel our understanding of what applied communication is. I mean, I see where you're going, but I think um, um, I don't know. I don't know where I was going. I had a few notes about it, but they don't make sense as I come back to them. So anyway, let's see. Oh, okay. So when you go to page 3 of what you wrote, the end of that whole part, that first paragraph, uh, you say the ultimate goal in applied scholarship is to find a question or problem and so on, right? So that sentence, I'm wondering if that is a if that's if that definition or statement of purpose is unique to what you're arguing, or is that simply just a reminder of what past scholars have already said? So I guess one thing that you have to be clear on is how you are separating yourself from other scholars, if that is your intention. Or is it you just want to kind of revitalize or simply just remind your audience of what scholars have said? So I think it's kind of that balance, not balance, but I think you got to kind of pick what you are seeking to do. Are you seeking to advance or just reiterate? Okay. Um, yeah, and and actually, just going back to that basic research thing, I'm just curious as to what, um, why, why you felt the need to have such a strong, robust discussion on the distinction between applied research and basic research. I'm not sure if that's something that Larry would ask you, but um, from what I observed from what other people have written, they either mentioned it and moved on, or they didn't even mention it at all. So whereas you had a pretty strong discussion on it, so I just wanted to know like what about it kind of is a pillar for you to stand on in your defense. Okay. Also moving on. Oh, okay. So on page 4, you have similarly toward the top. Similarly, students at the university level will benefit from gaining an understanding of both basic and applied research. How? Benefit how and specifically? I think I would advise you to generate just a couple examples as to how students will directly benefit from that. Because understanding, that's conceptual. How can they use that understanding? understanding to do what? Or is there more of a practical rather than conceptual benefits to to um, the distinction between basic and applied research? Something to look out for. Um, oh, okay. So on page 6, and toward the middle, you say perhaps one place to go is some basic exposure to public relations skill sets at the onset of communication degree program. So specifically, are you talking about com students taking courses outside of the major, like in journalism or media studies or something like that? And that kind of serves as a requirement to be a part of the comm discipline, or are you talking about communication appropriating or incorporating um, PR kind of skills into existing coursework or curriculum? So because I mean, there's implications of those things. For example, if you for the latter, incorporating those skills into existing curriculum or curricula and coursework, you know, you might need to train scholars who are already in the department in those things, or you need to hire more people, which means funding for more faculty lines, whatnot. But but if you mean the former of folks just taking classes out in like journalism or something like that, that you're talking about like recrafting curriculum, so just it's I guess it's just kind of like specifics and implications of the things that you're saying, I suppose. But you know what? I really did like your discussion on advancing the field in terms of partnerships and publicizing. So very strong discussion, good stuff, J-Bru. And that's all I have for you, my friend. Let me know if I could be of further service, if you want me to follow up on any of the things I said. But you'll do great tomorrow, and I believe that you should too. All right? So with that, I'll talk to you soon, my friend. All right. Be easy. Good night.